Hello. How's it going? This is really fun. I'm here. I'm here with Haley,
Hi, everybody.
and just thought this is. I'm missing this. It's weird, but but it's been a long time, and I wanted to try this again, and I wanted to just sing some songs. I wanted to read a little bit from my book, which I'm really proud of, and if you have anything to say, any questions, anything like that, just shout them out. We're playing tonight for Feeding America, and which is the nation's largest hunger relief organization, and we're going to do everything we can for them tonight. So thank you very much, and thank you very much for being here. It's so exciting to play. Say the West is a story we made up to erase. The Conestoga wagons left tracks you can see from space. And from the Northwest Passage to the Great Divide, everybody's looking for the other side. And I'm still waiting for the whiskey to whisk me away. And I'm still waiting for the ashtray to lead me astray. I twist the cul-de-sacs into one-way signs. I'm going round in circles on the other side. Night I sit and I watch for stars to stay. They wink and then they're gone down the Milky Way. When you're left in the middle of the Midwest sky, oh, everywhere you look is the other side. Oh. Oh, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good, good.
Sound was really good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we were a little worried it might be too echoey, so there we go. My new lover, sweet and kind, kind of lover that one rarely finds, and I'm happy for the first time in a long time. Came along, it opened up a door. Though I know I've been in love before, oh, I feel it so much more than the last time. And she only looks like you in a certain kind of light, when she holds her head just right. It's been wetter for a while. The north wind's wail cut like a baby child. it was hard to think her smile could bring the springtime. But it did, and that is. The green, green grasses come up green, and it's feeling just the way it did the very first time. And she only looks like you in a certain kind of light, when she holds her head just right. And any more would stretch the rhyme. So let me leave this where I started. I'm just happy for the first time in a long time. In a long time. Awesome. Well, I wanted to, one of the things that I was really excited about doing tonight was playing a few songs that reminded me of the book. You know, so much of my writing of Great Glorious Goddamn of It All was written with a kind of a soundtrack in my head, and some of those songs were, you know, old tunes, you know, fiddle tunes and airs, and you know, some of them were piano music, saloon music, and which was in my mind. And then another part of it was songs that I needed to write to envision the whole world, you know, and so some of those songs were, you know, were ones that were touchstones for me as I was working, and one of them was this song called "Stars in the Crown," and I'll do it in the right key. I'm gonna go for it. There's nothing worse than like getting into the song and realizing that you're way too high, because then you have to start the song over, or you gotta go for it, and it doesn't end well either way. So we'll start. Okay. Is everything sounding okay?
Everybody says it sounds great.
Okay, great.
Better than last time.
Great. Okay. Some men are born to satin and silk, given the world to bend to their will. Some men are born to nothing, but still they have the stars for their crown. Some men climb ladders of fortune and fame, and drink out of silver on their own private trains, while out in the night, men without names sleep with the stars for their crown. Some men will give everything that they own, right down to their souls, cold little stones, and never once look in the sky, or they know that diamonds ain't diamonds, gold it ain't gold. I am no believer in all things that are wise. There's no God, rich or poor, for who I'd lay down my life. Some men are born to those things, but not I. I have the stars for my crown. I've been a cowboy, a drifter, a confidence man, lost track of weather. I'm saved or I'm damned, but those are just handles. I know what I am. Look at the stars in my crown. Yeah, those are just handles. I know what I am. Look at the stars in my crown. Thank you. I was gonna maybe read a little bit from the book. You think is that
Yeah, you should.
too forward?
You need like a guitar stand.
Yeah. I need a guitar stand there. Let's see. This is really exciting. You know, to be getting to one of the things I really wanted to do when I wrote my first book. I realized that I wanted to have stuff that was more fun. I wanted to write something that had some. It was more that had some spicy language, and so there's a lot of spicy language in this book. So forgive me if I run across anything that's indelicate. I think everything I chose is pretty good.
Are you saying
I'm wondering if I should
Are you gonna cuss and swear?
Yeah, should I cuss and swear? I wasn't thinking about that. Maybe what I'll do is I'll anything I run across I'll just I'll let you know.
I mean, I think you could probably cuss and swear.
Yeah.
Are people watching with their children?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yes, probably.
Our children are in bed.
Yeah, they're in bed, but
So,
but they might watch it with later. So why
okay,
don't I?
everybody just says cuss and swear.
Okay.
Do you like them saying cuss and swear, by
Cuss
the way?
and swear is great. I love it. Cuss and swear. Okay. So my book is about a lumberjack, and he's 99 years old, and he's on his deathbed, and he's talking about the year he turned 13, and it's the year he inherited this piece of land from his father, this kind of cursed piece of land called the Lost Lot, where lumberjacks seem to meet their death, on a regular basis, and he's left with the choice of whether to try and work this piece of ground because it's all he has left, or whether he should leave. And Weldon, my main character, has two real mortal enemies in his life. And the first one is Lyndon Laughlin, who is the greatest lumberjack that ever lived. And so I want to read you a little bit about him. Lyndon Laughlin came from Canada, maybe, or sometimes from Maine. He spoke with an accent, but of what kind, no one knew. A few soup bones said they'd seen him raising hell in Saginaw in the 1880s, but that was decades ago, and surely he must have died a long time hence. Maybe he wasn't a man at all, but a graybeard, or the kind of forest spirit that the witch who lived with us was always casting her spells against. Lyndon Laughlin could kick the ceiling with his spiked boots. He was 7 feet tall and had 3 rows of teeth. He could bite through a hatchet handle, not like he used a hatchet. Lyndon Laughlin's axe could chop down trees all by itself. One time, at a dance in Vancouver or a rustic, he got to jigging so hard that he danced right through the floor. One time, someone, somewhere, was skidding logs and got them so mired in the mud that 2 teams of oxen couldn't pry them free. Lyndon Laughlin came along and just looked at those logs, and started walking toward them. With every step he took, those logs got a little smaller and a little smaller, until he finally got to them. They were so small he just pulled them up under his arm and carried them to the sawmill. And not only that, as a woods boss, he could strike fear and respect into the steeliest of hearts and lead a flog of jacks up any mountain with the knowledge that the timber would get taken out and pronto. He knew which way the trees would fall, and his uncanny knowing was a comfort to a man as surely as it was a source of trepidation. Some said he'd signed his name in a black cat book and sold his soul to the devil for 666,000 years. Some said he was a friend to orphans and women, others that he climbed up out of the very cleft of a cloven hoof. No matter what anyone said about him, though, everyone agreed that Lyndon Laughlin was the best Jack that had ever lived.
Ooh. I love Lyndon Laughlin.
That's my favorite part.
It's like your favorite part. You know.
But I love it. I love writing a
Can I ask you a book writing
yeah,
question?
totally.
You talked before about like deciding that for your second book you wanted to write stuff that was more fun.
Yeah.
Did you have that thought while you were this is gonna sound like an insult.
Yeah,
but
right,
it's
right.
not. Did you have that thought while you were reading, like doing book events and reading out loud from your first novel?
No, well, that's not like. I guess what I felt was that I wanted to, like, in the same way that, like, with a record, every record you make leads on to the next in its own way. Like, it teaches you something and you careen in a new direction. And I thought, like, when I wrote Bright's Passage, I had the tone for that book the way I wanted it to be. But then I wanted to write, for the next thing, I wanted to write something that was even, like, a little looser.
Yeah.
You know, a little, like, more just, you know, straight, just had a little bit more, like a spicier narrator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But yeah, like, but it has made reading the book a lot of fun, cause and it's been super fun to you know to get to read it out loud, which is the way I think you know is really an amazing way to kind of hear a book.
Someone in the comments said, I'm sorry if I can't find your name in time, but someone in the comments said they went on a road trip and spent the entire time taking turns reading out loud to their partner who was driving.
That's so awesome.
Sounds like fantastic. I mean, maybe we wouldn't do it with your book.
No. Well, should I write it? I'll do a villain song.
Yeah.
Buried mama standing with the knife still in her chest. It's per her last instructions at her death. Said you'll never get to heaven, son, so go to hell real slow. Now the ground don't want me, mama. The ground don't want me, no, no, no. I've stacked the deck, I've held the dead man's hand so many times. Eights and aces wishing for the death I hoped was mine. But cards and guns are all the same, each man must draw his own. Now the ground don't want me, mama. The ground don't want me, no, no, no. What is the body when the soul is flown? Has it only been forgotten? I wanna lay down in a field of bone, but an angel guards the garden. I killed men in blue-eyed Barbacoa, new life in crystal wells. In every town the broken hearted rang their steeple bells. For every man a box and for every hole a rose. Now the ground don't want me, mama. The ground don't want me, no, no, no. What is the body when the soul is flown? Has it only been forgotten? I wanna lay down in a field of bone, but an angel guards the garden. Then one morning near Arcan I chanced to watch some violets rise, their lunar blues undoing down the fastening stays of night. And I thought how sweet to sleep beneath the flowers such as those. Now the ground don't want me, mama. The ground don't want me, no, no, no. What is the body when the soul is flown? Has it only been for forgotten. I wanna lay down in a field of bone, but an angel guards the garden. Sometimes I think about mama with that knife still in her chest. Sometimes I think about all those lucky men I sent to rest, and how it's them who are sleeping, and it's me who is the ghost. Now the ground don't want me, mama, the ground don't want me, no, no, no. What is the body when the soul is flown? Has it only been forgotten? I wanna lay down in a field of bone, but an angel guards the garden, an angel guards the garden. Let's see.
Can I just say, I've missed doing this so much.
Yeah,
I haven't done one of these in a
this
long
is so
time.
fun.
I forgot, it's so much fun.
That's right, I love it. Really...
Yeah. Could I just say to everybody, if you have book questions, you can put them in the chat. If
Yeah,
they're good,
oh yeah.
If they're good, I'll read them to Josh.
Oh wow. This is a Roger Miller song. The last word in lonesome is me. The last word in lonesome is me. My heart is as lonely as a heart can be lonely. The last word in lonesome is me. What ever happened to our good love? What ever happened to our good love? Sometimes our best isn't quite good enough, and the last word in lonesome is me. Life is a desert and love quenches thirst. Life is a desert and love quenches thirst. We all have to hurt sometimes. This is my first time. The last word in lonesome is me. The last word in lonesome is me. Oh, that song.
I love it. So could you talk a little bit about Dream?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, Dream is the this book takes place, the action and a fair amount of it takes place during the early 1920s and like the Prohibition era, and so there were all these stills in the woods, place where people would make all kinds of moonshine, and they were I just like the idea that there was you would travel from valley to valley, or from over the mountain, and you'd be in an area where there was someone else had a different type of moonshine, and that there is this mythical place, this Cordelia, the town of Cordelia, somehow held together by magic, and that magic is manifested in this moonshine, which is called Dream, and which is like made from the spruce trees and the mica and the silt from the glacial runoff and the thimbleberries and the feathers and made from whatever makes the ground, the forest ground. It's a mythical drink.
You know what's funny about living with you is sometimes you say something like thimbleberries.
Yeah.
And I just have to wonder for the next 3 days, is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Or is that a Josh Ritter thing?
They're so delicious.
Yeah. Maybe we'll publish the recipe for Dream one day.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all we serve at our house.
That's all. Yeah, it's always. I got it from you.
Josh, one more book question.
Yeah.
The cowboy movie hero in your book?
Yeah.
I can't recall his name right now. What inspired that character?
Well, there was
He's a great character.
Thank you. I had heard about that there was a connection between Northern Idaho and a movie cowboy, and but like only in the same way that I heard about that there was a witch, that there was supposedly this witch that lived up one of these like long creeks up in the woods, and she's mentioned once or twice in these oral histories, but like I want, so it was enough for me to imagine that she was out there, and that was enough to bring her into the world, and the same with this movie cowboy, who, there's a little bit of Tom Mix in there for sure, like the old movie cowboy Tom Mix. And there's others, that like some of those really fantastic old movie cowboys doing those fantastic stunts. I loved writing it, and I saw it kind of with the kind of the saloon music in the background.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah.
I have more book questions for you, but you can do more songs.
Oh yeah, totally. Well, whatever. Let's see. The water is wide, and I cannot get over. Neither have I the wings to fly. I'll build a boat that we both can row, and we shall leave Lake Charlevoix. Oh, you are so handsome, brave and sweet. There is no love for you but me. Still my heart, it beats for both, my love and my Lake Charlevoix. Still if you go, I will go with you. There is no, still if you go, I will go with you. You are my love, and my love holds fast. All that I ask is build a boat as pretty as Lake Charlevoix. Give her blue sails of silk and sun, fog rolling in, late afternoon, the rising moon and the smell of pine. For I'll not leave all that behind, and see her hull is iron ore. For iron are the hills of home, and iron is the chain that holds me to my own Lake Charlevoix. My love, I see you will not go. There is no boat so wide and deep that it could keep the love you hold. For the hills are home at Lake Charlevoix. So I will stay and let your eyes be my blue sky and my soft rain. I will remain. How could I go? For you are mine, Lake Charlevoix. I will remain. How could I go? For you are mine, Lake Charlevoix.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Maybe
Do you want to read a little?
yeah, I'll read it a little more. If that's cool with everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see here.
You need some post-its.
I do. I should do that. There we are.
You can borrow some.
Oh wait, here. I had it here. I'm sorry. It was just here. There we are.
Do you want to answer a question?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Oh, here we are.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. So this, as I was saying, the music was a big part of writing this book, and one of the things I wanted to do was sort of write music into the story, and so I wrote this song, which I could imagine around a fire, you know, in a bunkhouse being sung by a chorus of lumberjacks. And this is the story of Some Somewhere, the song Some Somewhere. The story of Some Somewhere was this. An old man once came into Peg Ramsey's barber shop and said, in the quietest, most raspy voice, that he wanted to get his hair cut and his beard trimmed. The man looked awful, all red around the eyes, with a scar on his cheek and a bunch of other cuts and shit. The man looked like he'd fallen into a pile of forks, he was so poked up. Well, anyone who knew Peg Ramsey knew that Peg was more curious than suspicious by nature. He told the man he'd give him a cut and shave for nothing except the story of how he'd gotten himself so almighty fucked up. As Peg cut his hair, the man told Peg the story of how he'd met another man one day on some lonely mountain pass, similarly fucked up and rolled around, and how that man had said it was all because of a song that was stuck in his head. He'd heard it from someone, somewhere. A real catchy song, you know? And try as he might, he just couldn't get it out of his head. He said he couldn't be with people for more than a few hours before his singing it drove them wild. A woman had stabbed him, he said. A man in San Francisco had tried to cut out his tongue. He'd even gone to a priest to see if Jesus could pry that nail out of his head, but even Jesus had had no luck. So here he was, a fucked up, freezing man on a desolate mountain pass, shunned by one and all and left to die with nothing but this single song ringing in his ears. What's the song? The man had asked. The man sang him Some Somewhere. I didn't think too much of it when he sang it to me, the man told Peg. I wished the poor stranger luck, though in truth he was already starting to look better, and I continued on my way. I woke up sometime in the night, sweating by my dying campfire, and that goddamn song in my head, and it's been that way ever since. Looks like you've had it pretty bad, friend, Peg told him, as he put the finishing snips to the man's beard. I've been shot 6 times, and my cat ran away. How does Some Somewhere go? Peg asked him, as he dusted the hair off the man's shoulders. That's how Peg came to get the song stuck in his head. Yep. Peg had that song rattling around in his head for 2 weeks and couldn't get a goddamn thing done. Peg's got a lot of jobs, you know. He has a shop to run, and the Idaho Hotel, and the church, plus the dream and all that. There were too many people that depended on him for him to just sit around all day. So Peg left town for the lights a while, and when he came back, he had Billy Lowground with him. He plunked Billy down at the piano in Shorty Wade's. There, he said, "Have I got a song for you?" Peg sang Some Somewhere to Billy the Lowground. Peg said later that he had started to feel better instantly, and unlike the man he'd given a haircut to or the man on the mountain pass, Billy didn't give a rooty toot toot about having Some Somewhere stuck in his head. Billy had thousands of songs stuck in his head already. And I'll sing that song, so it's just for fun. All good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's see here. This is the song "Some Somewhere," which Peg learned and then gave to Billy Lowground. I love the world, but if I gotta leave it, let me go. Somewhere where a man is free to roam. Cut me loose to wander where a man can be his own. When he's on his own, somewhere. Somewhere there are mountains topped with snow. Somewhere where the wildflowers grow. Somewhere where I know I'll someday go. Someday when I go, somewhere. The wonders of the world are vast and golden in array. Expect I'll visit every single one of them someday. Right up until my time is done and I'm called away. I'm called away somewhere. Somewhere there are mountains topped with snow. Somewhere where the wildflowers grow. Somewhere where I know I'll someday go. Someday when I go, somewhere. Some folks pray to barbed wire and some folks pray to God. I've never been too sure if he is listening or he's not. But either way, here's hoping where I'm going ain't too hot. When I finally go somewhere. Somewhere there are mountains topped with snow. Somewhere where the wildflowers grow. Somewhere where I know I'll someday go. Someday when I go somewhere. I'll go the 4 directions and I'll be a hired hand. I'll live out of my saddlebags and I'll live off the land. Right up until my time has come, I'll make my final stand. Finally come to stand somewhere. Somewhere there are mountains topped with snow. Somewhere where the wildflowers grow. Somewhere where I know I'll someday go. Someday when I go somewhere. Someday when I go somewhere. Someday when I go somewhere.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I just want to point out
Yeah.
that there is an audiobook of the book,
Yes.
which you read,
Mm-hmm.
and which includes a recording
And the recording of the song.
of the song.
You're
sung
right.
Somewhere.
Yes, I should. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's pretty good. I had a great time. I went into a very official studio for reading audiobooks and sat there and just read it out loud and it was fantastic. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Finn is 6, and he's
Yeah.
considered the best singer ever.
Oh, thank you, Finn. Thank you, buddy. Thanks a lot.
And a lot of talk about a new song,
Oh yeah.
Theophany,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and everybody just wants to know what's going on. When do we hear that on a record?
Oh, I'm working on a record of sorts right now. I'm sort of like working my way through ideas, and I'm really excited about it. Actually, yeah, I have lots of, it's been such a strange time to be writing and not writing, and it's come and gone, but it's like it's definitely back writing. It's like feeling productive.
Excellent. Also, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking red wine. A
2018 Cabernet.
Cabernet.
A studio wine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. I brought chocolate.
I know, but I don't want to make a rustly sound. Can I make your list? Can I make a rustly sound of chocolate? Okay.
We're hanging out in a room just like by ourselves with wine. This is so nice.
The kids are asleep. One of them is.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
One of them isn't. Here we are. Okay, here we are. I'll sing a lullaby first because well, sort of a lullaby. Why can't you try to be happy? Why must you always be sad? Why spend your only life waiting to have what you know you can have? Why spend your only life hoping? What a torture to be always blue, darling. Why spend your only life waiting to do what you know you can do? What's the worst thing that could possibly happen to you? Why spend your only life hoping? What a torture to be always blue, darling. Why spend your only life waiting to do what you know you can do? That was just for fun. Let's see. Here, I don't want to do that song. Throw that out. Sometimes it's hard to carry this great weight, either bound to burn or to the pearly gates. And I'm as aimless as can be, often nameless though I'm free. Oh Lord, do you have a plan for me? I've been kicked out of Texas, stole an infamous necklace, became a spiritual master, got rejected by Vassar. I go ahead in the game of whatever I'm playing. I'm the favorite of babies, society mavens. Whoa, 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 Lord, whoa, Lord. Will you ever have a plan for me? I have marvelous splendors, abandoned the vendors, been kidnapped and ransomed, just a little too handsome. And more than a few times I've lived without sunshine. And yes, I've wondered, should a life be a lifetime? Whoa, 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 Lord. Whoa, Lord. Will you ever have a plan for me? I'm dedicated to freedom. I'm dedicated to freedom. I just got stuck on the freedom. The American Legion, better by the Paris, by real Parisian. I've been the best and the worstest, compose my own curses. I got my heart broke so bad, they had to call the nurses. Whoa, whoa, Lord, whoa, Lord, will you ever have a plan for me? Whoa, 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 Lord, whoa, Lord, will you ever have a plan for me? I have had good intentions, blue-blooded pretensions. I've been the subject of rumors at the party conventions. My features harmonic, wisdom Solomonic. If there's a board of directors, you can see that I'm on it. Whoa, Lord, whoa, Lord, will you ever have a plan for me? And so take my place with the sages, belong to the ages. Give my clothes to the poor and my love to the ladies. May all of them wish me commanded to history. Write books all about how every one of them miss me. Whoa, Lord, whoa, Lord, will you ever have a plan for me? And so for now I go aimless, convicted though blameless. At times using nicknames, at times going nameless. Royalty unquestioned, gentlemen of discretion. Y'all sing hallelujah, for here ends the lesson. Whoa, Lord, whoa, Lord, will you ever have a plan for me? Whoa, 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 Lord, whoa, Lord, will you ever have a plan for me?
Yeah.
Made it through that one.
You did.
Did it?
You did it. You know the kids know all the words to that song.
Yeah.
That's like their favorite car song.
That's
Okay, so a question that comes up a lot, and you get this question a lot, but maybe you just want to say your favorite thing to say about this.
Yeah,
You
right.
have to fully answer the question.
Right, okay.
Just give the silliest
yeah,
little
okay.
bit about this.
Yeah.
The difference between writing a song and writing a novel.
Well, typically applause.
Perfect. That is perfect. Who do you identify with in the book?
I definitely identify with Weldon. He's like the character who's like, well, it was there was no question that it was going to be a book that was written from his perspective, because all day, every day during that time, I think, and more as the book developed and Weldon's voice developed, he just started saying stuff in my head all the time, you know, and there were just things where I would just think, well, that's how Weldon would describe it, or you know, that's just Weldon, you know. And so certainly I think, but then there's other, and the things that he's annoyed by are things that I'm annoyed by just coincidentally, you know.
Yeah. It's a good answer. There's no Lyndon in there?
There's in me,
Yeah.
you know, like if I'm really hungry. You know?
I love that. What was it like to go back on the road? You went out recently, you did some shows recently for a few weeks.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
It was profound to feel out, and relief to be like to be on the road and realizing that I still remembered the songs and I could still sing, it wasn't, it was a thing that had crossed my mind, was what has happened to me in the intervening time that will I be able to remember all the words, all that stuff, and so yeah, it was, but then to go and to play and to be able to everything about it, from going into the venue at the beginning of the day to like to the end of the night when you're saying goodbye to the security or the whole thing was just really great, terrific.
You know what I think is the best feeling?
Yeah.
The security guys who work every show every night.
Yeah.
And they really don't give a shit.
Yeah, yeah.
When you're leaving and you're like, it's late at night and you're finally leaving the theater and everybody's already cleared out, one of the security guys says, "Hey, it was a good show, man."
Yeah.
That's the best.
That is such a high compliment.
It truly is.
Yeah, totally. That's the best. Yeah, it's really great. Yeah, awesome. Well, let's see. I'm gonna do. Let's see. Here we are. Well, does anybody have any? Let's see. Let's.
A lot of requests.
Yeah. Any requests? Let's go for it.
A lot of requests. I mean, everybody wants to hear Theophany.
Oh wow.
I don't know if you're up to that. It has words.
It's got words, but I could go for it.
You want to go for it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, also, like, all of a sudden, we're Snow Rider. We're Snow Rider. We're Snow Rider. Change of time.
Awesome. Okay, I'll do this song. I don't really remember writing this song. It just sort of, I do remember working on it, but I don't remember when it all came into place. But we'll just give it a shot. I was new to the capital city, so perhaps that's why I was chosen to be given the map. Or perhaps it was because the place where I worked meant that I wasn't just some other jerk. Either way though, there it was one day after lunch, a map in an envelope there with a bunch of mail and other stuff there at my desk, with my name in old cursive, my return address. The map of the capital city was clear, and a dot marked the spot where it said you are here, but an X marked another spot down a few blocks. So I got out my notebook and I took a walk. So I got out my notebook and I took a walk. Of course there was nothing for me to expect, but I write for the paper, so I go where I'm led. And this lead it led me to a boarded up space between a convenience store and a foot massage place. With my pocketed notebook, my flashlight in my teeth, I stooped to the ground and I crawled underneath, down into the dark till it swallowed me up. I crawled downwards and downwards towards I didn't know what. Still after what felt like a mile, maybe more, the ground opened up into a vast marble floor, and a vast marble ceiling arched high and away, far up into shadow where the real world lay. And there in the middle of the vast marble floor was a thing unlike anything I'd seen before, a rotating, spiraling mist made of lights that had something like wings made of something like eyes. And it knew I was there, because how could it not? And as it read my mind, I tasted its thoughts, and I felt every mask that I ever wore drop. And I knew in that moment I was looking at God, but not the God I'd read about or had been taught. Not some almighty, vengeful, benevolent God. This God had been humbled or diminished or both, and whatever it once was now tied to a post. And as I read its mind, or whatever it's called, it told me of how they'd locked it in a vault. It had come from a place far over the waves, and before that a place that did not have a name, but like bread into body, water to wine. There were those who could use it to turn wrong to right, so they used it for all the things God is used for Second Amendments and new holy wars, and helping the strong so that they'll feed the weak, protecting the mighty that they might shepherd the meek. And when people get shot and folks say that they care, they need something to go through the thoughts and the prayers. And so they had used it again and again, and with its moral authority each time they'd win, and in fear of escapes and in hopes just to keep the God to themselves, they had buried it deep. Still they feared it less than just some common ghost, and whatever it once was now tied to a post. And then came the letter, and then I arrived, looking down on the ground at the rope loosely tied. Oh, to have been trapped here for hundreds of years, fed on requests and watered with tears, when like all wild things it deserved to be free, to live on its own, and maybe then so could we. So light burned my face as I worked out the knots, and the wind from the howling of wings was so hot that I thought I might die, till the rope fell away and I fell to the ground, and that's where I stayed. When I awoke in the darkness, alive and alone, the God once possessed 'neath the city had flown. So I picked up my flashlight and left as I came. Back out on the street, it had started to rain. That's theophany.
That's theophany. We have 1 minute.
Oh, right.
If people feel really grateful for your time and your songs, can they leave tips?
Yeah. If you feel so inclined, please help Feeding America. They're coming into this holiday season. There's like 38 million people that are in this country that are facing food insecurity. That's 12 million children, and we can really help out. So thank you so much, and thank you, Haley. You're the best.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're the best. Do we have time to play something else, or is that?
I'm sure no one will be mad.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have time, but no one is going to be mad.
Does the computer explode or something?
Yeah, it's ticking.
Bruce Willis shows up.
Can we hope?
Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing?
Oh my God.
All right, let's see. I had a dream last night. I dreamt that I was swimming in the stars up above, directionless and drifting, and somewhere in the dark, with the sirens and the thunder, and around me as I swam, those drifters who'd gone under. Time, love, time, love, time, love, time, love. Time, love, time, love, it's only a change of time. I had a dream last night, rusting far below me, battered hulls and broken hardships, Leviathan and lonely. I was thirsty, so I drank, and though it was salt water, there was something about the way it tasted so familiar. Time, love, time, love, time, love, time, love, time, time, love. It's only a change of time. The black clouds I'm hanging, this anchor I'm dragging, the sails of memory rip open in silence. We cut through the lowlands, all hands through the salt lands, the white caps of memory, confusing and violent. So, whoa, I had a dream last night. When I opened my eyes, your shoulder blade, your spine were shorelines in the moonlight, new worlds for the weary, new lands for the living. I could make it if I tried. I closed my eyes, I kept on swimming. Time, love, time, love, time, love. It's only a change of time, love, time, love, time, love. It's only a change of time, love, time, love, time, love. It's only a change of time, love, time, time, love. It's only a change of time. Thank you guys so much for being with us. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out, and see you again soon. Rock and roll.
Good night, everybody.